On the evening of June 14, 1986, the Mindbender, the world's largest indoor triple-loop roller coaster, turned from thrill to tragedy inside West Edmonton Mall's Fantasyland amusement park in Canada. A catastrophic mechanical failure sent the last car hurtling off the track at nearly 60 miles per hour. 3 young lives were lost in seconds. One survivor was left forever changed. It remains the deadliest indoor amusement park accident in history. This is the preventable story of the Mindbender disaster, when excitement became horror because of overlooked flaws in design, manufacturing, and maintenance. Part 1: West Edmonton Mall and the Mindbender. In the 1980s, West Edmonton Mall was the world's largest shopping and entertainment complex, an indoor city with stores, hotels, an ice rink, a water park, and Fantasyland, one of the largest indoor amusement parks ever built. The Mindbender was its crown jewel. Built in 1985 by renowned German manufacturer Schwarzkopf, it boasted 3 massive vertical loops, track length over 4,198 feet, height 145 feet, top speed approximately 60 miles per hour, 97 kilometers per hour, forces up to 5.2 Gs, 4-car trains, each car seating 6, total capacity 24. Riders climbed the lift hill, plunged into the first loop, then the second, and hit the intense third and final loop before returning to the station. It was thrilling, intense, and a massive draw for families, teens, and tourists. June 14, 1986. A typical busy Saturday evening around 6 p.m. The mall buzzed with weekend crowds. Fantasyland ran normally. 23 passengers boarded the Mindbender for what should have been a routine 90-second ride. Part 2. The ride begins. Among the riders in the 4-car train, Cindy Sims, 21, from Lloydminster, Alberta, riding with her fiancé, Tony Mandrusiak, excited for the rush. Tony Mandrusiak, 24, Cindy's fiancé, sharing the thrill with her. David Sager, 24, from Calgary, an experienced coaster fan, visiting with his friend Rodney Chayko. Rodney, Chayko, sitting in the very last row with David. They were all expecting screams of joy, not terror. The train left the station, climbed the lift hill, dropped, and powered through the first 2 loops perfectly. Riders laughed and screamed as the forces pinned them in. Then came the third and final loop, the ride's most intense moment. Part 3, the failure ayure. The last car derailed. Witnesses heard a loud metallic snap, like metal breaking or a gunshot. What happened? On the 4th rear car, 4 critical cap screws, bolts, securing the wheel bogie assembly fractured. These bolts held the wheels that guide and secure the car to the track. Due to a combination of design flaws, the assembly lacked sufficient redundancy, manufacturing quality issues, metal fatigue from repeated high-stress cycles. The bolts failed, the wheel assembly detached. The last car lost its grip on the track. Still hurtling at high speed through the loop, the detached car swung violently, then slammed into a concrete support pillar with devastating force. The impact ejected all 4 riders from the car. They were thrown approximately 25 feet down to the concrete floor below. The front 3 cars remained on the track, but jolted violently. Some riders suffered neck injuries from the sudden stop. From snap to impact, roughly 2 to 3 seconds of unimaginable terror. Part 4, the horror. 3 dead, 1 critically injured, 19 others hurt. The scene was chaos, twisted metal, scattered debris, screams echoing through the mall. Emergency crews rushed in. Rescuers worked amid the wreckage to free victims. The casualties: 3 killed instantly by the fallen impact. Massive blunt force trauma. Cindy Sims, 21, thrown from the car, died at the scene. Tony Mandrusiak, 24, Cindy's fiancé, killed in the ejection. David Sager, 24, crushed by the forces of the crash. The fourth rider in the derailed car, Rodney Chayko, survived, but barely. He suffered shattered legs, a crushed shoulder, broken pelvis, back, ribs, and more. His injuries were life-altering. Decades later, he still lives with daily pain and remembers his friends every day. David, Tony, and Cindy are dead. It changed my life forever. 19 others were injured. Broken bones, internal injuries, head trauma, some requiring long recoveries. Survivors faced not just physical scars, but deep psychological trauma. PTSD, fear of rides, survivor's guilt. Part 5, the investigation. Design flaws, fatigue, and inadequate inspections. Fantasyland shut down immediately. Authorities, Schwarzkopf engineers, and experts investigated. The verdict: the accident was preventable. Key findings: the 4 failed cap screws showed cracks from metal fatigue, AEUR, detectable with proper non-destructive testing, ultrasound, X-ray. But inspections were insufficient, mostly visual, not rigorous enough for critical components. Design issues: the wheel assembly needed better redundancy to handle stress. Maintenance protocols at the park were inadequate AEUR. They followed manufacturer guidelines, but didn't go far enough on frequent advanced testing of high-stress parts. Responsibility was shared. Manufacturing/quality shortcomings plus park maintenance failures. Part 6, the aftermath, reforms, and legacy. No criminal charges, deemed an accident, not willful negligence under Canadian law at the time. Civil lawsuits from families led to confidential settlements. Regulatory changes swept Canada and beyond. Stricter daily and annual inspections. Mandatory non-destructive testing for critical parts. Better maintenance logs and replacement schedules. Enhanced operator training and incident reporting. The Mindbender was rebuilt with major upgrades. Redesigned cars, added restraints, redundant safety systems. It reopened in 1987 and ran safely for decades until Galaxyland closed permanently in 2023. Conclusion: on June 14, 1986, a single point of failure, 4 fractured bolts, turned the Mindbender into a nightmare. 3 young people, Cindy Sims, Tony Mandrusiak, and David Sager, went for a fun night out and never came home. Chayko survived, but carries the weight every day. They died because of overlooked cracks, inadequate inspections, and a design that didn't forgive human or mechanical error. This tragedy was preventable. Rest in peace to Cindy, Tony, and David. You deserved a safe ride. You deserve to go home. June 14, 1986. OWIUR, the deadliest indoor amusement park accident ever. A reminder carved in steel and concrete: safety isn't optional. Never forgotten. Thank you to all my Patreon patrons. You make the Fear Files possible. If this hit hard, like, subscribe, and hit the bell to know our name for more true horror stories from history.